What's up, guys? Today we are going to be changing out this old exhaust fan, typical bathroom exhaust fan, and we're going to be upgrading it with the Panasonic Whisper Fit. So if you've got one that sounds like this, we're going to be changing that out to hopefully one that's really quiet. Because if you say you try to take a shower late at night, you're going to be waking people up with this thing. So we're going to start by taking this thing apart. It just has the two screws right here, two Phillips heads, and you can get the cover off. And then we're going to be taking the wires apart. So this one I have here, it's just a plug in to this little outlet here. So when you turn the light on, that charges that outlet, kind of like a wall outlet. That way you can replace these motors if you ever need to. But this looks like I got a screw here and looks like it's just some tension. So I guess I just gotta take this screw out and it should slide out like this and it should be able to pop right out. So with this older exhaust fan, you can see here, when you get power, all it does is just turns the fan, which then pushes this little flapper open, which allows the air to then go through it outside. However, in my case, it does not work that way. You also have power here, which luckily we're going to have attic access, so we're going to be able to go up in the attic. We're going to be able to take this completely out and then cut the drywall and then put in a new one. So for right now, I'm going to take the power off. Might have to cut a breaker off, or you can do it with the switch off. Is however you guys feel safest doing it. I'm not going to tell you guys to do anything any other way. But once we get that off, we'll get this whole exhaust fan out of here, and then we'll probably go ahead and start installing the new one, whereas after we get the Whisper Fit in, we'll then run the ductwork outside. So as you can see in my attic, unfortunately I have blown-in insulation, and the previous owners ran this little flex duct, but all they did was they just kind of let it sit on the soffits. They didn't actually take it outside. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna run it over to this side of the house, and I'm going to actually drop it out of the soffit, and we have a connection out there that I'm gonna do. So I have to dig the exhaust fan out of here, take it apart, and then I will unwire it, and then we can start working on getting the new one in. So mine took a little bit of finessing, if you catch my drift here. But once you do get it out, whether you're in the attic or not, if you have, a plug or something, basically what you need to do is you need to get these wires on the outside of this connection here. So you can just use a little flathead, or sometimes it's loose enough that you can just push that lock ring out, and then you can slide these wires out. And right now I have these lights, or these wires are coming from the switch, so they're dead right now. I mean, you can see I can touch metal, it's not doing nothing. But coming from the switch, there'll be no power. If you turn the switch on, obviously the power comes in, it goes through here, comes in, powers your light switch, or powers your exhaust fan. And I also have mine jumped, which go over to this light above my shower. So they both come on when you hit the switch. So that's how this works. So I'm just gonna take this apart, and then we need to eventually cut a bigger hole so that the Panasonic will fit in here properly. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this all apart. So here I got this lock ring off, and you can see that's basically you got, it pulls right out. And just make sure you have the power off when you do this, otherwise you might arc it off the side of the box and trip the panel. So once you get this, now we're gonna go downstairs and we're gonna line up our box to see how big of a hole that we're gonna need to cut for this drywall. And then once we do cut it, then we're gonna come back in here and attach our brackets. So I did forget to record this last part, but you're gonna wanna cut a bigger hole for your exhaust fan. It does come with a template on it, so all you have to do is just line it up wherever you want it, and then cut it. I use a oscillating tool plus a shop vac, as you can see down there. But then when you do get the hole cut, this little bracket here just rests on top of the drywall, and then you just screw it into each joist, and then the instructions tell you to go ahead and put on your power, and that way all you got to do is when you do get it in, you're just gonna have to clip it in there. And then for me, I'm gonna have my exhaust fan going this way, so that'll help push it away the way I'm trying to go, because I'm trying to go back there, less of turns. I like straight runs, so I'm gonna go ahead and get it wired up, so that way all I have to do is plug it in and then hook up the exhaust fan up in here. So just like before, when you took it apart, green's obviously going to go to either a bare wire or a green wire. White goes to white, black goes to black. You tie all those together, and then that way you have your power coming in, and that's where there's going to be a connection on the other side of here. So I'm going to get this kind of situated, and then we're going to go ahead and get the exhaust fan in. And so as you can see, I was able to get the ductwork on, and we've got the power going in. So we're going to go ahead and get the exhaust fan up in here now. So the instructions took me a little bit to understand, but that little bracket that holds the power and the exhaust ductwork is actually gonna rest on this drywall here, and you're gonna actually screw that into the drywall through that bracket, and then this outside exhaust fan is gonna slide into that bracket. And then once you get that slid in, it's gonna clip in, and then you just attach the other two self-tapping screws through here, which then go through the other bracket on the other side. So right now I have it plugged in here. As you can see, there are options here if you wanted, I believe it is 50, 80, and then 110 CFMs. I have it on 110. So we are going to go ahead and test it now that it is on. And nothing. Oh, here it goes. I guess it takes a second to realize that it's on. But that is silent. You have no idea that that is even running. That is amazing. I love that. So now we're gonna go ahead and put the cover on. So to put the cover on, you just need to take these little clips, kind of push them together, and then you put it through this bracket here. So you just take these and you're just gonna kind of push them together, and that's what's gonna go up into there, and then you can push it up into the cover. So if you were just doing the replacement, you would be done now. But since I don't have any connections that go outside, we're gonna be attaching that differently now. That way we actually have a way to exit this instead of just leaving it up in the attic causing mold. So we're gonna go back up into the attic now. So as you can see here, I got this all covered back up. That's good to go. We know that works. So the next step is I've got it down to my soffit, and we're gonna go outside, and I have a connection that we're gonna have to drill through the soffit, and we'll try to pull that down out, connect it, drill it up into the soffit, so that way it's out of the house. It'll prevent you from drilling into the roof. And as you can see here, with the previous owners, they did have the vent go through the roof, which caused leaking, and we're gonna try not to have anything that leaks. So it's much safer if it goes through the soffit than it does through the roof. Less likely a chance for leaks. So I'm gonna go outside, get my ladder set up, since this is on the second story, and we're gonna go ahead and try to get it cut out and out through the outside. So I've got this really nice attachment from Amazon. As you can see here, how the bathroom vent kind of goes in and then it pops out the soffit. That allows the air to then come out the side instead of going straight down, as you can see. So if normally you just had a vent here, it would blow it out down and then it would come right back into the soffit. So you don't want that warm air coming back into the soffit. You want it pushing out and over the house. So I'm gonna go up there, and I'm kind of gonna use this as a template to see where it is, because we know where the holes are here. So we're gonna basically want to set this up so that we know where the holes are, and then we'll go ahead and drill 4-inch hole saw, and then we'll just pull the vent out and then attach it to here, and then connect it back up and drill it into the soffit. So I'm kind of gonna go mark this up and figure out where I need it to be. So as you can see, I was able to drill a 4-inch hole and then pull the flex duct out, and all I'm gonna do is attach it to here, and then I drill the 4 screws into the soffit, and then that should be it. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that started, and then I'll come back to you after this because I'm on the 2nd story on an extension ladder. It's kind of hard to film and record, or record and do this at the same time without falling. So I'm gonna get this done. So this took a lot more effort than I thought it would, but it's at least up. I think gonna caulk in here just in case, you know, I don't want any wasps or something getting in. It's pretty secure, but I'm just gonna do it anyways. And I don't know if you can hear it, but there is air coming out of here now, which is helping push it out, and it's going up and around instead of her just pushing out here and then going right back into the soffit. So now you should have a fully functional exhaust fan without having to make a roof penetration, and it's much quieter, and there's actually quite a bit of air coming out of it. I don't think you can hear it, but it's a good amount of air. So once you get it all cleaned up, then that should be it, and hopefully this helps you guys install a Panasonic Whisper Fit.